Who here understands, who here feels that they could explain a basic match? Raise your
I mean, that's part of it, sure.
But what's the heel, what's
What's the next part of the match after this shine?
yes. I don't think it's, I think the wrestling has always gone, babyface shine, heel gets heat, babyface makes a comeback. No, I don't think it's that. I think what it is the heel gets frustrated, the heel gets heat, and the babyface makes a comeback. I think it's been stated wrong forever, and because it's been stated wrong forever, I think that heels never show frustration anymore. When you watch matches on TV, do you ever see the heel getting frustrated during the shine? No, they just do a bunch of spots that the babyface goes, is more successful in. And then the heel, there's what's going on to the audience, to everybody, but then there's also what's going on in their heads. And how do we get what's going on in our heads to the audience? Yes, expand on it. Facial expressions and body language. It's like when you're talking to a girl and you're like, hey baby, and she's like, yeah, and you're like, oh, that's a no. We told a story that led to this moment in time. Elix Skipper, it was just a match. It wasn't even the fucking finish. It was not even the, right? Am I correct? Wasn't even the fucking finish. Biggest move in the thing, wasn't even the fucking finish. And nobody thought about it twice later because I used to tell Elix, I go, you have to work on your psychology and storytelling, work on your character. He's like, I got to work on the moves. I'm like, you have 1 million moves. You don't need any more. And even if you did want more, you could think of them in your spare time. You want to be creative. You want to be clever. You want to have a look that's unique to you, a style that's unique to you. You want to have a moveset that's unique to you. Always be able to I'd know if a catchphrase was going to get over if the Disco Inferno was just running around the locker room saying it. That was my meter right there, because he's such a fan that I knew it was going to get over the first time it was said. I can tell on my own, but if I had any second doubts, I would wait to see if Disco would be running around the locker room like, holler if you hear me or whatever. If I shoot you off into the ropes, or you shoot me off and I reverse it, and my partner's there and he's on the apron and he knees you in the back, I don't know if that's really illegal. I guess it is. Then really it just makes a mockery of the proceedings. And yes, it is just pro wrestling at the end of the day, because why would we hit the ropes? But there are certain things that I feel need to be adhered to. Like, and if you're a sci-fi fan, anybody here a sci-fi fan? Anybody? No? Okay. Is anybody, I don't know, no sci-fi fans? What about, in ECW, you could do stuff with weapons in front of the referee. That was the world that was established. In WWE, you could not, because that's the rest of the wrestling. In fact, the rest of the wrestling business, those things would be considered illegal. But in ECW, the universe of ECW, that was considered, And interestingly enough, this is really a fascinating point, and I'll get back to what we were talking about. But when I went to WCW, Terry Taylor made Ravens Rules matches so I could have all my weaponry in there. And the only thing which I thought, Taz, the human suplex machine, and you're a heel, and it's time to get the heat, can you just pick the guy up and just throw him over your head? Is that a good way to get heat? Yes? No? Nobody thinks so? Why not? It wasn't until I came in, and I'm not taking all the credit because Tommy deserves 50% of the credit because he worked his ass off. But because I decided I was going to be a stone cold heel, and at the time, Paulie thought heels and baby faces were passé. He thought that the business was changing, but it's never going to change because you have to have baby faces and heels to tell a story, because you can't build a drama without a baby face and a heel. That's the best way to build the best drama. You can have a drama, but it's not gonna. And it will. I'd come over and walk over, and then I just grab somebody by the hair, and I'd just sit there and look around. And now I'm building time, and now we're gonna learn about time, not space. That's later. Now I'm building time. Okay, I'm taking my time. I'm allowing the drama to build. Now it's even more dramatic. You don't have to hold on because you're beat up. So you're really good. The guy punches him in the head, and punches him in the head. Now the guy's leaning on the ropes, and he punches him in the head, and then he punches him in the head again, and again. And the guy's just like, fucking shoot me off. Because the guy's not even registering him anymore because he keeps thinking, next one I'm going to be shot off, next one I'm going to be shot off, but he's not going to be shot off because the guy's busy hitting him. And to me, the least amount of punches you can throw, the better, because let's face it, people watch MMA, they know punches fucking can knock you out. They also know punches, so he kicks his ass a little more. Fuck you, bang, bang, boobie. All right, maybe now he goes out and looks at the crowd and goes, see, look what I did to your stupid baby face. Ha ha, yay, me. In the meantime, the baby face is selling, getting his sell on, and the heel hits his pose. Yay, I fucking rock. Woo-yah, wee. And then, of course, out of that, you kick out on 2 9/10, and always ride something like that to 2 9/10, because if you just kick out at 2, well, it's not dramatic. I mean, it's dramatic, but if you kick out. So come here, tell me first what the right answer, why you think that's the right answer, which it is.
The heel's been on top, so he's a little more fresh.
Right, okay, all right. What are you going with?
Switching sides.
I already told you that's the right answer. Go back over there. All right.
So the heel gets up first because the babyface can fight from down below.
Sit down. Sit in between.
Face moves out of the way out of desperation, but he stays down to sell the beating that the heel just gave.
Sit in the middle. Because I don't believe in just putting something over to put it over. It's not that I'm a dick. Well, I am a dick, but I'm less of a dick now than I was, but it's just why I'm just not a fan of, oh, that's good stuff, even if it isn't, because it doesn't help anybody. If people ask me for my opinion on their match, I'm going to tell you exactly what I think, because me telling you a good match does not help anybody. Now you're starting to cool down, right? Now you beat them down a little more because you're still pissed off, and then it's time for what? A hope spot. Hope spot. Now, if you only have 2 minutes of heat, you really don't need a hope spot. A minute. I think what I teach, I think almost anybody can learn from it, because I don't think anybody in years has been taught the psychology to think in ways, because they see it too much as an athletic contest and not enough as a drama.
Yeah.
So.
I've never actually heard the term meaning spot as opposed to, I've always heard hope spot before.
Right.
I've actually heard them say it as a meaning spot, which now it means a lot more,
Right.
obviously. But
Well, it was like Mike Graham was just like, I never heard of it either, and I don't think I've ever heard it since. But he goes, why don't you make that a meaning spot? I'm like, I don't even know what that means, but then it just clicked 2 years later, and I'm like, oh, I can make my dive into a meaning spot. And then, but I'm sure there's other terms for it, you know what I mean? But it was just something that triggered that he said, and and that's what my point being is that hopefully not only have you learned what I taught you today, but that there's stuff that you may not have understood today, but that in a year or 2 years or 3 years, something's going to ding and you're going to go, oh, fuck, Raven said that. And now I get what he was talking about. I didn't get it then.